Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Week 10 recap of fantasy football. Harsh
Harsh
reality.
reality.
Now, this particular week, Week 10, started on Thursday night with a total snore fest and then closed on Monday night with another total snore fest, both of them finishing with a score of 10-7. And the line on the Eagles opened the week at plus 2.5, and all the money was, in fact, it was my lock of the week. But by the time I got to it, it moved down to +1. And then earlier today, I looked at it and it moved to -1 for the Eagles because all the money was coming in on the Eagles. And Scott, you're telling me by game time, and it moved to
Minus 3.5. And of
minus three and a
course, they
half.
won the Eagles.
Right.
Minus 3.5. Of course, the Eagles won by 3.
By 3. So if you caught it at the very end, you lost.
Yeah.
Wow. And that was a very few points were scored in reality or fantasy. There was a
I'm not
lot
sure
of
I understand why the game turned out that way. You would think, oh, well, the defenses were great. There was some good defensive plays, but it wasn't like both defenses dominated the game. It didn't feel like that, you
you know
know?
what
It
it
didn't.
felt like? It felt like it was the first truly cold game.
Mm,
All these
weather.
games that have been sure, there's been rain, there's been this, but there hasn't been a
Well,
game yet.
Chicago and New York, there was snow.
There was some snow, but this game looked really cold. It was at night. The wind was swirling. I mean, you saw guys the second they got to, you
Yeah,
saw
Troy,
all the
Troy and Joe
commentators
were pretty
were,
buttoned
were
up.
freezing too. They were
Yeah,
up
yeah,
there, which
yeah.
why the booth is open air, I guess, for their ability to
It
watch the
does
game.
seem weird. They'll probably fix
It
that.
seems like that's something you can close the during with halftime when they go to them. It's very strange, or at least put on some space heaters. Those guys look like they were
They did. They
freezing.
really did look bundled,
Yeah, so that to me, this may have been
like
the
a
first
Christmas story.
truly icy cold game that affected players' ability to
Well,
play.
I don't know what the temperature was. It certainly
It
wasn't
was 31
icy
degrees.
cold.
It was 31 degrees.
31. Okay. Just slightly below freezing, but still, it was the first one. Certainly, it had some effect, I guess.
It
If it
looked
wasn't
like
the
it.
defense, I can't think of what else it was.
I think they were just for both teams, it was their first truly cold weather game, and they felt it, and they looked
So
every bit like they were being affected by the cold.
let me ask quick. What were your takeaways with Saquon and his performance tonight, and then of Jacobs on the other side and his performance tonight?
Jacobs is still Jacobs anytime TD is still the safest bet
So good,
in
right?
all of sports betting. I mean,
Yeah.
it saved me because I had also I had bet, I had a vibe on the Eagles coming out and scoring on the first drive. First drive score +110. Love it. And they got all the way down, and they were marching with the ball. And I was like, at the very least, they're gonna. I was counting the money. I'm like, right off the bat, got that quick 10 right out the gate, counting that $10
Jambalaya.
and Fumbalaya on like the 15. Like they
And it
were
was brilliant.
poised
It
to
was
score no
brilliant.
matter what.
Look, that was an incredible play. The peanut punch while he was in between, the ground. I mean, it was like
If
there
he
was
didn't
just a
land,
moment that
yes,
that that it could have worked. He would have been down if it was a moment later, and if it was a
yes,
moment
but
soon.
he landed on the guy. He landed on the guy with his knee on the guy and his elbow on the guy. And that gave him that half a second to get the ball out, and he did. And it cost, but at the end, I wound up, and that's all that matters.
Well, that and Philly also did win.
Yes. And I
That
managed to
I
get
think.
them while they were still on the plus side of the equation, which was diminishing very quickly. So all the money
While
was
it's
on
still
the
fresh,
Eagles tonight.
well, while it's still fresh in our heads, I mean, Christian Watson,
Mhm.
two big plays.
Yes.
One play that Jordan Love screwed up. Watson did great. He looked really good. I saw that. And Emmanuel Wilson. is active in all of these games. Like for the last 5 weeks, they keep bringing him in. That's
Yeah,
why
but not
it's
enough to really have any fantasy relevance.
no, but just something to put on your radar, just in case. Like it's like Blake Corum.
He's a
Anyway,
handcuff.
these guys,
Corum's a handcuff. These do not have standalone value.
no, not standalone, not right now. But they're starting to get added in. Anyway,
listen, I've been holding on
I
to
know you had
Emmanuel
mentioned.
Wilson. I've been holding on to Emmanuel Wilson for 2 seasons now, and they don't
Oh,
give
you
him a lot
have.
of They don't give him a lot of standalone work. He is yet to be someone that I
He'll
ever.
get his day. He'll get his
I
day.
hope
It's
so,
coming.
but unfortunately,
It's
that
coming.
will come at the expense of Josh Jacobs' injury. That's the only way he gets that.
Or a
day.
trade or
total,
something like
or a
that.
total blowout. So, or a trade, but we're past the trade deadline, so not this year.
Right, not this year. No.
Okay, let's get back to what matters, which of course was waking up Sunday morning, being kicked in the nuts by Jonathan Taylor. I even created a meme and put it out there, and the meme did very, very, very well. People were like, "Tell me about it," or "I've got him," or what. There were a lot of responses to the waking up to Jonathan meme that I put out on Instagram and TikTok and all the social media platforms.
Well, I missed it. What was the meme? How did I miss it?
It was just a video of me, and it was me in my kitchen, and I had just looked at the numbers as I'm making my coffee, and it's just me like. That was it. That was the whole video.
Well, but you wound up with a double dose of Jonathan Taylor this week. Yeah,
I got double fisted.
So that's also
I got double fisted by Jonathan
also
Taylor
important.
in both my league of record, where I wound up losing, I think, like 115 to 180. And then in our league, in our other league, where you're
my league, the one where I play you.
Yeah, you won 154 to 95. So
154 to less than.
Well, you were up on me by 100 at the end of that game. At the end,
that's incredible.
Remember that? I said
it's incredible.
Well, at the end of the first round of games, I said, "Well, on the upside, you're only up by 100."
Yeah, my defense and my number one running back had 84 points.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
That's nuts.
Or 80 points, whatever it was. Just incredible. You know what though? I will say there was a lot of fun.
Your defense only had 9 points.
Oh, I had Cleveland in this league. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is that Cleveland?
So, yeah,
My bad.
Yeah.
Thought I had Denver. I have Denver in most leagues. Anyway, harsh reality. There was a lot of injuries. The things that bothered me the most about this week were watching people like Arande Gadsden go down.
Yeah.
I don't know. He left with a bruised quad. He's questionable.
He's day-to-day, so he should be okay.
He should be okay. Dalton Kincaid, a little less okay. He
opening that door for Dawson Knox.
Correct. He's now week to week, so that's a doubtful designation.
Oh yeah.
And then I don't know if you heard about Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, back out.
Done. Gone.
Yep.
And he was doing well on a terrible team. I feel bad for him.
Now, if you remember though, in our preview, I was wondering about John Mechie, who just got traded to the Jets, and how this was his opportunity to come back to life in the NFL. And now it seems like the door is wide open.
Well, did you see his stat line?
No.
It wasn't good.
Well, it's his first week on the team, and Justin Fields is not a good quarterback.
True. Yeah, you know what? I feel bad for Mechie. I don't know how anyone can survive, how anyone could look good there. I mean, it's bad. The only one is Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Now that Garrett Wilson's gone. But, yeah, Mechie's there. He's there.
Yeah, he only had 1 target. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it's his first week on the team, and they still had Garrett Wilson on the field. What I'm saying is, going forward, they need him. He needs them. This might be his opportunity to reestablish himself in the league, even if it's just.
Oh, it's definitely his opportunity.
Yeah.
This is it.
That's all I'm saying.
His last opportunity.
I agree.
And with all of the talent that he showed coming into the league.
Yes, but he got injured right out the gate.
Do you know what he reminds me of a little bit is Calvin Ridley.
Right.
Right?
Well, but he
This is
was
a guy who's
suspended
so
for.
much talent, so much talent. I know the gambling, which is hilarious because now it's like NFL brought to you by gambling, you know. Anyway,
Anyway, so continue on your
but
Calvin
but
Ridley.
but you know, Calvin Ridley, he had that same situation where he felt so good up front,
Mhm.
and you saw all this potential, and then it, that unfortunate thing happened, and then everything fell away, and now he's not the same. And I don't know, man. I like he's out there on the waiver wires now. I don't know if he's going to play. I mean, even if he does, I don't think I'm interested. You know, and I'm afraid
Yeah,
that might be. It might be a very similar situation.
maybe. I mean, I'm just saying
I
it's
don't
his
know.
chance.
Yeah,
The guy came in with a lot of potential. He got injured severely right out the gate. Then they really didn't give him much opportunity once he came back. Then they traded him. I feel like, I mean,
oh
now
my God,
with
is he
Garrett
the one that
Wilson
had
gone,
cancer? Is he the one that had cancer?
no, I think he had a knee injury.
One of these guys, I thought one of these guys had cancer.
I don't
And
know.
that was what,
We'll
like,
have to look it up.
anyway,
Maybe it was Mechie that had the.
leukemia, I thought maybe. Anyway, and I thought maybe it was Mechie because, anyway, you always root for guys who had cancer. I mean, that's why we love Connor so much.
But I'm just saying he's got tremendous opportunity. He came out, he was a huge star in college.
Right.
And
Yep.
this is, I mean, I really hope he shows some action. Okay.
Sure.
By the way, your boy Wilson managed to sniff out another bagel. Boy, I'll tell you what, nobody loves bagels like the Wilson here, which you and I even talked about it pregame. We agreed DJ Moore was the safest choice.
It felt like the smartest play. It
And I
really
literally
did.
could have chosen anyone else on my bench and gotten more production than I did. And what is it about this Caleb Williams offense that somehow someone gets frozen out every week? First, it was a Dunze, and you were like,
Yeah.
Dunze is going to be number one. Not
He was
even
pretty good.
close.
He wasn't.
Not even close.
He was pretty good. He had like 18 points, got a touchdown.
He did okay, but I mean, he wasn't close to being the
better than
number
okay.
one
He was
on
good.
the week.
No,
you know?
but he was
But,
good. He was better than average.
He went from bagel to good
to 18 points.
where DJ Moore went from, I think, 14 points
to zero.
bagel.
Right.
Someone gets frozen out every week in that fucking
True that.
offense.
It is weird. It is very strange.
It's their wide receiver core is as tough to judge as Washington's RB room.
Yeah, man. I guess it feels like it's the coaching situation is very hot hand.
Yeah.
Across all the fields. Monangai, Rome, whoever it is. I mean, I guess with Loveland, it was more of a injury situation. But Komet's back, and Loveland still is coming up. So
yeah, but I just, it's amazing to me the way every week I manage to find the bagel and start the bagel.
Yeah, you can sniff out a bagel like a pig could sniff out a truffle. It's amazing.
It really is a talent because it's not something I've worked on as a skill.
Those pigs are worth a lot of money. You know, I'm just saying they find the truffle. But you know what I learned this week? I learned that from now on, when we do This Is the Week, and we say, this is the week, this running back's going to be number one, we need to just accept that this is the week, this running back is going to be number two. And it's always Jonathan Taylor, number one.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's it. Except for this particular week because he's on bye.
Talk about sniffing out another bagel, basically. I thought it was going to be James Cook in that plus matchup in Miami, and he did not. The whole team did nothing. The whole team they lost the game.
I'm sure that anybody who was in a Survivor League, like I bet you that win knocked out 95% of the Survivor Leagues.
Many. Not just them, but there were three teams that I think really were looking past their competition, and it was Carolina looking past New Orleans.
Yeah.
It was the Bills looking past Miami.
Right.
And it was Jacksonville looking past the Texans.
Houston. That was an amazing. Listen, I tell you what, I have faith because this week coming up here, week 11, we've got Nico Collins. I was like, you must sit Nico.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yes.
That's what I said. And I was wrong. I was right up until like the end. And then I was wrong. And by the end of it, Austin or Davis or whatever the hell Mills, General Mills was out there throwing it, and Nico looked great. He's playing Tennessee this week. This is a great matchup. Tennessee is always a great matchup. It's like playing Cincy or Dallas. You want people who are playing against those guys on defense.
Yeah.
So I think Nico might be a great play this week.
Well, I got out there and said you must sit Tez Johnson.
Oh, 2 touchdowns, Tez.
And then he had 2 touchdowns.
Tez? You talking about 2 TD Tez?
2 TD Tez up against New England and those incredible corners. I thought this rook, he's not going to have a good game. Amika will be the game. Amika did have a great, Ibuka had a great game, but Tez Johnson had 2 touchdowns on, I think, 4 receptions, maybe even just 2 receptions.
That I don't know, but I do have in my notes here on my takeaways is that Tez Johnson, I have him also listed, but I have that he could be the second half sleeper that helps people win their leagues. He could be.
4 targets, 4 receptions, 5 targets, 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns. So Tezzy is almost working himself into a must start, just like Amika.
Yes, this is. It seems like an indicator of things to come.
I think
he's shown his flashes, and they have a lot of they can't keep the other guys healthy. Tez is there.
Tez is there. And he's very elusive, very springy guy. A lot of bats.
He is a springy guy. Maybe not as springy as Jaden Daniels' ligaments, which apparently didn't break. But anyway, he's springy. He's pretty springy. But I do want to take a moment to talk about Tyrone Tracy, because I had said he would take over,
and he did.
And if we look at the numbers, yes, Tyrone Tracy, 14 for 71. Devin Singletary, 8 for 20. So, although it's a little misleading when I put it that way, because I'm only talking about rushing, Singletary did have like this one big crazy screenplay that went for about 50 yards. So I think that he wound up with 10 points, and Tyrone wound up with I think like 8.5.
Yeah.
But you can see the usage was Tyrone. As the number one.
He didn't like take a chokehold on the roll, and he definitely took back over as the primary.
He almost doubled the Singletary snaps.
Yeah.
Almost doubled it. That is a chokehold. He nearly doubled it.
He didn't know this, and he took over. And I'll tell you something else we were right about was about Monangai's usage was going to go way down, that Swift was going to come out and take back over, and he absolutely
that's just you. I was wrong. That's just you. I was wrong on that. I thought he would be way more involved.
No, I knew it. Yeah. I was like, he's going to be relegated back to that role, just like we saw it happen when Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard came back, and they gave it all back to Chuba. I was like, they're going to do it, and sure enough, they did. Whether that remains the case, I think depends on Swift's health, because he did. He ran great. He looked good.
Yeah, Swift looked pretty good.
And Monangai, luckily, good. He got like 4 or 5 touches, but one of them was for a touchdown, but that was it. And you can't count on that touchdown when you're only getting 4 or 5 touches. So
I will say that I do enjoy that they tend to, when they give him those opportunities, Monangai, it is in the red zone. It is goal line touches.
And by the way,
I do like that.
On Tracy and Singletary, the total touches were 14 to 11.
14 for 71. No. Oh, yeah, 8. Oh, yeah, well, because I told you the 3 receptions.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So his total touches
I was talking about
11.
Rushing.
Right, but he's still total
but
touches.
But it was 8. It was
14
8.
to 11.
I hear you, but it was 8 for 20 rushing yards and 14 for 71 rushing yards for Tracy. Clearly, he's the number one running back.
Yeah, and they're both still garbage.
I mean, That is
Now,
irrelevant.
let me
That is
ask you this
irrelevant.
question.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
Parker Washington for real?
Put some respect on Parker Washington's name. Put some respect on Parker Washington's name.
Wow. I mean, the guy is showing up and everybody else is gone. Now, they obviously have the new guy from the Raiders that went there.
Jacoby
Myers.
Yep.
So it's a matter of how much he takes away once he gets up to speed. But
he actually did pretty good. He had a flash play.
He did,
also.
exactly.
Yes.
So you began to see
on his first game.
Yeah. So there's a little hope there.
But Parker Washington is absolutely for real. I think he's fantastic. I did a best ball draft today, and I jumped a couple of rounds, and I made sure to grab him. The talent. I don't watch a lot of the Jags. All right, I don't have many pieces in the Jags. Whenever I'm forced to watch it, I do it. A little under duress. I saw Parker Washington make two incredible plays, one on special teams and one on offense.
And it's terrible when they do such a great play on special teams and you get no points for that. But you're like, well, put some respect on his name. I mean, the guy can really run the ball, but that's about it. That's all you're going to get out of him. But he did well overall. I mean, it was only 10 points. But still, one was a TD pass. Right now, he is the leading wide receiver, even though he's catching balls from the beautiful idiot.
Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be back at some point. Travis Hunter's out for I don't know how long, but
I don't see Brian Thomas Jr. as being any kind of a threat. His production has been so bad. And
I don't know.
Whether he was healthy or injured, he's just Brian Thomas Jr. a terrible season.
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. was the reason he was drafted so high was Mac Jones.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And
because you would assume that he would still be able to continue that with Trevor Lawrence. Not the case. Zero chemistry. They have nothing for each other. And
what I heard,
but you can see he has it with Parker Washington. So maybe that's all he was missing.
About Trevor Lawrence is that he is a beautiful idiot.
Yeah.
That's what the word on the street is.
That is the truth.
This is the beautiful idiot.
Yes.
He doesn't understand. You should throw it to Brian Thomas Jr., who's got look what Mac did anyway. But I believe, Parker Washington.
Is for real. Is DeMarcado for real? I know everybody shied away from him. He was going up against Seattle, but he wound up with 15 points. He had one huge breakaway run. He looked pretty explosive. Is DeMarcado for real? And Knight now is banged up. I don't know how much. I don't know. I mean, he's at least going to be questionable going into this week.
Well, the real question is Benson.
Right. When does he come back? He should be coming back pretty soon.
Very soon. And he will take a stranglehold on this thing if he can stay healthy, because that is his thing. He gets these opportunities.
Is counting on a lot.
He gets these opportunities and he shines for a minute, then he gets hurt. And we'll see, can he do it? And he's healthy now or maybe or soon. But is Amari DeMarcado's talent real? Absolutely. But can you use it in fantasy football this year? I don't know. I mean, maybe 1 week. I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
I don't know.
I don't know either. He's on my bench. I'm glad I got him, but I don't know if I'll play. I don't know how much we can play him.
I will say this. It's interesting. There's a crazy, we were very early on the Alec Pierce train.
Oh, that's right here in my notes too. Alec Pierce makes me hate myself.
Well, but he's ascending.
Yes.
While Daniel Jones is descending. And I'm not sure. And of course, they're on bye next week. So it's
they need that bye.
They should.
Daniel Jones needs to reset so bad. He has got the yips pretty. I remember that was the one thing. Jonathan Taylor was going crazy, but I'm like, but look at Daniel Jones, because he's not looking good at all. He's looking like those 5 interceptions have him real in his head. So,
but you know who made him look good in flashes? Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce. You're right.
Made him look really good. And of course, Tyler Warren, who's been fantastic, I think, the whole season. But Alec Pierce is, I'm not sure what to think of him. I think I'm going to drop Keenan Allen
Okay.
and pick up Alec Pierce next week because he's on by this week. But
Right. So there's no point doing it now. Yeah.
well, yeah, I just feel, but maybe now is the time to do it because maybe next week it'll be too late.
Maybe so. We'll see.
But anyway,
All right.
we didn't mention that Brian Daboll was fired. We probably should do that.
Yeah, which
He
might
gone.
be, I mean, some might say that that's good news. But before I mean, Brian Daboll getting fired, everybody was calling for his head on all the sports shows. And it's amazing to me that once you get betrayed by the sports shows, I feel like that's when the owners act because they're like, "Oh, look what they're saying on ESPN. Oh, everybody sees us now. You know what? We got to do it. You're right. He keeps endangering our future to try and win right now. He's a concussion protocol after concussion protocol after concussion because he's like, Ron, yeah,
It's hard. It's hard to listen to that stuff and stay the course.
And you're looking at Hall of Famers and respected names, and they're saying it. You got to be like, listen, public opinion. We now have to act because it's out in the public discourse that this guy is threatening our future with what we have in this amazing talent, Jackson Dart, and he's letting him just get pummeled. You got to go, coach. They're all saying it. Everyone's believing it now.
So you're going to blame Daboll for the way that Jackson Dart gets, concussed? Yeah. That's Jackson Dart's fault.
Right, but any good coach would be telling him, hey, stop doing that.
We don't know if Daboll told him to stop doing that or not. I have no idea.
Clearly he hasn't because he keeps doing it.
That doesn't mean he wasn't told.
No, he's putting him out there in any condition. Forget it. No, he went and ran in the tent going, get your helmet on. We need you. My job's on the line.
Wow, that was pretty hilarious.
No, it's pretty egregious.
And I think he got fined.
He got fined. Yeah, there's a fine. How do you do? There's a fine. How you do it on the way out the door? Fucking, here's your $100,000 fine. Now hit the road.
But so, imagine the coach that comes in, right? They get to inherit Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors will be back, Cam Scatteroo will be healthy. They've still got Thibodeau.
This is turned. Theo Johnson has emerged.
Theo is really pretty good.
And you have talent on defense that's being completely underutilized.
Yeah, Thibodeau, right? And Burns.
And Burns, yeah. And so it really is, it's got to be Lucky just coach. The prize pig.
See, that's why...
In terms of coaching jobs this summer, right. The prize pig is going to be the Giants.
Yes, and that is why you shouldn't just take the job for the Jets. Don't take it. If Aaron Glenn had waited, maybe he would still be relevant enough to grab that beautiful, beautiful Giants, with all this incredible young talent,
Oh, I did win $3 on DraftKings.
Hey, I just won 50 cents. I got 50 cents. I saw it. I got 50 cents.
And I know for sure which team it was because there was one team that I made Devontae Smith the captain.
God, was he okay? Can we put some respect on his name?
He's AJ Brown is out. Devontae Smith is in, although he did throw AJ that bomb. And I felt like AJ, instead of going up for the ball, was expecting the call. He was expecting the interference because the guy was
interference call, yeah.
And so I think
he was called it.
So he let it. He let him trap his arms, and then he didn't get the call.
Yeah, because they saw it. They saw it. The refs are pretty good for the most part. They're pretty good. I'm always impressed. I'm more impressed than I am disappointed in what they can see on the field in real time.
Yeah. Well, they're pretty good right there. And then come on. If you're standing right there, you're going to see it too. But they chose to ignore that one. I think the league we're like, give it a shot. We kind of would like this to go overtime. It's been pretty boring, guys.
I thought we were going to get to overtime too, didn't you?
I really did. But then they went, you know what? It's so funny because they went and took that practice kick, right? They called timeout.
And then they switched. Yeah.
And he came up short by like a foot. He wasn't short by much at all. But in their minds, they're like, he can't hit this. Forget it. run this stupid ass play. You know, you have 5 seconds.
So do a quick
You
out.
know what? You give him another
quick
shot
out for 1 yard to give him that 1 yard to kick the. Pretty smart. I thought that was actually pretty smart.
It would have been if they could have completed the play, but instead they just.
If they could have completed it, but then when he got the kick,
And then they
it was
had to,
one
but
of the worst
that's it.
shanks.
Then they had to rush out there to set it up to kick it again because they had no timeouts. So if they would have just left the pieces in place, they were completely set. They take the full time. He warm it up, line it, boom. It was a huge mistake.
That's a pretty good point. I like what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was almost a very good play. Almost smart. It was almost like
Almost.
I understand the logic. I understand the logic behind it.
Listen, there's more logic in that than there was in for some reason the Eagles decided to throw a bomb on 4th down and allowing the clock to stop when they could have just run the ball and it created slightly, and the clock would have just kept running. It was so dumb.
It really did feel that way. But listen, I think we would be remiss if we did not mention at least that Tyler Shuck deserves, some mention, and just to say that, he's not bad. I mean, he's not, he did not play bad.
Okay.
Badly.
I really think that was more a product of Carolina looking way past these guys. But you never know. I mean, honestly, he may be for real. This is his 2nd game as a starter, and where I have his numbers here. Where is it? 282 yards and 2 TDs versus a defense that I have been crowing about for the last few weeks, saying put some respect on their name. They're better than everybody's saying. And then and they made Olave. He's made Olave a real thing again. Maybe Tyler Shuck
Olave and Juwan Johnson
just might be for real. It might be a 1-game anomaly, but right now, if you go 1 game to 2 game, I'm very.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is this kid did not discipline. I was like, okay, he's better. I see more talent in him from that game than all of the Spencer Rattler and all of the bullshit, like all those guys.
Yeah. I think Spencer Rattler was specifically put out there to give him an opportunity to see the game, to get accustomed to so they can now play him confidently instead of just putting him out there week 1 and letting you get trashed.
Right. And now he really has nothing to, like, it's so freeing when there's not that anxiety of we're all depending on you. It's over. I mean, there's nothing, right? Like it's freeing to go out and you don't have to worry
about them wondering if Rattler is a better choice. You saw what you had in Rattler. It was nothing. Now, and Shuck has had an opportunity to use the speed of the NFL game.
I saw, I don't know how many games Rattler start, but I know that the 2 that I saw Shuck, I would take Shuck right now. If you said pick one, I would take Shuck right now. I don't know. It's early, but he wasn't bad. I would be remiss if we didn't.
It'll be interesting to see how this turns out in game 3.
He looked all right.
Yeah. But what we're really overlooking, what we really haven't touched on yet, is it was finally the Treyveon Henderson game.
Oh my God!
We have been calling for.
We have to mention that. How do we not mention that? After
week in, week out, we've been saying, "Is this the week? Is this the week?
Is he a bust?" Remember, I said no.
Yeah, we were talking. Is he a bust? Is it? When is it going to happen? And I'm wondering because it started last week. Last week he broke a couple loose and started to find the juice, right?
Yes.
And then this week he had the juice. He knew he could do it, and he found his little bounce outside move was working for him. I'm wondering, and just like with Shuck, now I'm wondering next week, does it go up again? Now it all obviously has to do with whether Ramondre's
who do they play?
Okay.
Who do they play this week?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
I'm so curious. I want to see. I might have it. Go ahead.
We did finally get the Treyveon Henderson game, which had been foreseen since the preseason, had been predicted, and then everybody got. Now, luckily, I held on to him. Now, I've had.
You did really?
In 3 leagues.
Congratulations! You deserve every point for holding on. If you held, you deserve actually double. I honestly. I didn't.
I gave up on Krosky Merritt because he got his opportunity and did nothing with it.
Correct. Dallas.
Henderson was
After
still just getting
Dallas,
touch and go touches here and there, couldn't get a rhythm going because it was still Ramondre and then him a little bit and then Ramondre still. Now remove Ramondre and all of a sudden he got his groove going and he found it and he went out there and I think this may be a window of what's to come, but it depends on how they feel when Ramondre comes back. And if they're like, oh, no, he's the starter, get back in there, Henderson, sorry. But I don't know why you would, because it's not like
I think
Swift.
Vrabel. I
Swift
think
was
Vrabel. I think
useful. This guy is not useful.
listen. I think Vrabel is a very good coach. I think he's very smart, and I don't believe that he missed what you saw. I think that there is no doubt that Treyveon Henderson will be a much more involved part of the offense for this team. And you know what? This team, don't sleep on them, bro, because they are
no
good.
one's sleeping on them. They're at the top of the AFC East.
I don't. No one's talking about how great Drake May is and how
everybody's talking about this. And really, it isn't even about Drake May. They're really giving it to Vrabel and the offensive coordinator.
We should talk about Drake. They should give it to Drake. He is truly fantastic.
He is very good. I'm not ready to say truly fantastic.
I think he is truly fantastic. With what he's got, what he's accomplished, it's amazing. Now, granted, the defense is also quite good, and that always helps.
Yeah.
But he had Booty and I mean, geez,
Demario Douglas and Diggs.
And Diggs was out most of the time. I mean, it's just what he's accomplished.
Well, that's when he has to go make a baby. Every time out, he goes and impregnates somebody. That's it's in his contract.
Is he related to Nick Cannon or what?
Yeah, I mean, he's from the Book of Cannon. Let me tell you.
Or maybe he's a distant relative to Elon Musk. Anyway, there's a lot of babies.
Stafford and Goff were both huge, hitting those 4 TDs. They don't give you any run yards, and that's the thing. To hit 4 TDs and still only have 30 points. And then you have Josh Allen, who threw 1 TD but had 24 points because he runs. Yeah. It just shows you why the running quarterback in fantasy is worth so much more, because for all that yardage, 300, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns is still only amounted to 30 points for each guy.
Yeah, that should probably be addressed. How much
the disparity, how much the running counts for the quarterback.
I should probably, just like the IR designation, doubtful should be allowed to go into IR, and you should be allowed to make a change before the stuff.
You can't do that with doubtful. They just should eliminate that as an option for the league, for the it should be they're either questionable or they're out. That's it. This doubtful business is silliness,
I guess.
But now, I feel like Jonathan Taylor is the man.
Number one.
He is. He's the league winner on the offensive side for the RBs. I think Seattle defense is the defense this year.
Seattle defense is amazing, but what's incredible is this year there's so many great defenses that Seattle is one of them. Houston is one of them. Cleveland is one of them. Denver is one of them.
It's really it's only Seattle and Denver. And because the other two just don't have offenses to offset the number of points being scored by, or rather, they don't have the offenses to keep them off the field and rested enough. The Texans are constantly on the field because of the ineffectiveness of CJ Stroud, and the same is true for Cleveland with Dylan Gabriel. So they're on the field all the time. They wear down, give up points, but Denver and Seattle have much better balance and wind up being far more productive. Those are the top two by far. They're alone in the tier one.
Here's a sneaky one. Take a look at it right now if you can. Look at the Rams defense.
Rams is
and
good.
Their points.
Yeah.
You know what? I grabbed them, on a week for like a fill-in, and then and they got me 19 points. And then I looked back at all the game log stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep them.
Yeah, no, they've got great numbers.
They're real. Their numbers are fantastic. We know Jared is great, but there's a lot going on there. Matt Stafford, too. Like this is a
But this
crazy
week was
year.
pedestrian, 13, which is good.
Pedestrian, yeah.
But it's not amazing, but the other numbers leading up to it were fantastic. So
Pretty good defense.
Yeah.
Pretty good defense.
I mean,
anyway,
very good. But to me, the two top tier teams are definitely Seattle and Denver.
Seattle and Denver are 100%, at the very top. I agree. It's just crazy how good so many other defenses are this season. They really have made a big difference across the board, not just in the league, but in fantasy as well. But
I have to say, and I know I've made this point before, and I was hoping things would be different after the bye, but I hate everything about the way the Ravens are using Derrick Henry this year.
Yeah.
And you know what? Their best play was the outside run option that they ran one time that was incredibly successful. And I was I'm like, this is what I've been saying. Just do that all the time. Do it to the left. Do it to the right. They can't track both of you. And if they do, you throw it down the field.
Oh, the RPO. You're talking about the run pass option. Yes. Absolutely. And I don't understand it. That is a guaranteed success. You keep them guessing.
Do it. And they did it once and it worked tremendously. I'm like, that play right there. Do that play over and over and over and over and over again. And
cannot agree more.
Won't do it. And they're
I don't know why
they're wasting Derrick Henry, and they just don't give him enough touches. And when they do give him touches, it's right up into the middle into a completely stacked box filled with 90 guys.
And then they throw Justice Hill out there.
Yeah.
To go get touchdowns that he didn't deserve.
Yeah.
Because of whatever reason. I guess it sucks because, the coaches know, they don't give a shit about us and what any of that. If that works, they're going to keep doing it, and it keeps working.
Well, and that's the problem is that play works so well, and yet they won't keep using it.
Well, the Derrick Henry one, yes,
Let me ask you this: who the hell is Holani in Seattle? Holani, George Holani, the running back that for some reason the out of the way Walker goes to down Charbonnet. We're putting in this RB3.
I missed it. I missed the Holani.
George Holani in Seattle, 9 points off of rushing. And here's the thing. He's not anyone that you could really pick up for traditional redraft leagues, but in Dynasty, I think he's a hot number.
You might want to say, Holani, you do.
That's right. Holani, you do.
Holani, you doing?
Yeah.
A common guy. Interesting. I don't know. I missed it. I must have blinked and missed that moment.
Yeah, no.
But I like it. Now it's on my radar. I'll keep an eye out.
Let me see how many carries he had. He had 7 rush attempts.
7 attempts? That's actually quite a lot.
Including a touchdown.
That's only
31
less
yards, 9 points. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know how he got in there so much. I never even heard his name before.
Yeah, that is interesting. I've never heard of his name either. And
but if you're in a Dynasty league, consider Holani. I think he might be a pickup. Because even if it's not this year, he may have relevance if they end up trading away or letting go or getting out of the contract for Walker or Charbonnet or both. Holani seems to be somebody they like.
Well, I've got to keep an eye. That is an absolute deep sleeper. I cannot wait to take a look. I love those. When you tell me a name I don't know, that makes me happy. I was
watching that. And now conversely, Caleb Johnson.
You were like, he entered the chat, and I'm like, really? Because he had 2 carries for 3 yards.
Yeah, he was just on the field. He's entered the chat, in our chat, and then I'm going to talk about it because...
I thought you meant the group chat. You know what I mean?
No, our chat, because he's out there, he's taking the field, and the guy can't even get to the line of scrimmage. I'm like, who is this guy?
What's wrong?
This guy was a stud in college. He can't even get out of the backfield in the pros. I am done with him, which means he's going to blow
He is
up.
about to be the oak.
Yep.
You know what? There are. I would like to just also talk about very quickly that Hingle McCringleberry. Okay, can we just for a minute? Key and Peele. I put some respect on their names, man.
I think
They
everyone
have
has.
literally changed culture, like history. Like it is an epic sketch now. When you saw Rico Dowdle get because
Fined.
he
got
and they
fined
did
for
it, they
doing-
got
yes.
fined and they flagged and all that, and then he did it the next week. I think it only did one pump, and they still fined him there. And the coach said, I thought one pump was okay, you know, and that's amazing. This is real. And then this week, both Aaron Jones and Rico Dowdle got their touchdowns. And by the way, Greg Stradamus, Aaron Jones, you know, good call there. He looks great.
He does.
Jordan Mason is irrelevant. Anyway,
Totally.
good. But they both got their touchdowns, and then they went into crinkle the big whatever pose and didn't do any
pumps. Yeah.
And I was like, that's just amazing. What an incredible thing. I just had to bring it up. I love it. I love that. That has become
it's a great
thing.
celebration, and
Keegan
Michael Key has even talked about it. He's like, "Oh, it's not the same. You don't do a full 3 pumps, you know." But I love them doing it and then not pumping. Like, no,
right? It's so
well,
fun.
It cost them like $10,000.
Yeah, well, you know, that's nothing.
So
there is one last thing before we go to the waiver wires.
Go to the waivers.
I'm doing it. You ready? Last thing, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
His practice window is now open. He's got 3 weeks to come back. If the record is good enough, he'll come back. If it's not, he won't. But it is certainly something to keep in mind. I think Flacco has filled in admirably, and he's continuing to do so. You know, he's made everybody relevant over there. All the good players, Chase Brown, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, all of them. It's awesome. Even Yoshibas had a couple of touchdowns 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So
I'm sorry.
Goff
was hitting some of their lesser names yesterday too, including the Jameson Williams show, which seems to be back now. Now that
Dan Campbell's
calling the plays, he's like, I'm going to use this Ferrari that we have over here on the left side. And
I think it's interesting. Yeah, I think that's another guy that you should. Well, I mean, should we get into waivers? I mean, it feels like this is the time.
It's so funny because you mentioned it right now. My one quarterback is Joe Burrow. In the event you have a team that has a chance to make the playoffs, and you know your quarterback's good but middling, like you have a Herbert or a Love or something like that, grab Burrow now, throw him on your bench, stash him in your IR.
In your IR.
Yeah,
he's still in your
You get him moving to the IR, unless yours is already filled like mine is, but still.
Like everybody's.
Totally, mine's completely filled. Like there's a waiting list for the IR spots in mine. It's like a residence, a senior residence that there's just.
I'm going to make a waiver claim for one of my IR guys for another guy who's on IR. Like I'm going to try. I'm going to try to drop Jaden Reed and get Terry McLaurin.
But I went and got him today because I was able to drop somebody today and still add him because technically he hasn't played.
Correct.
So.
That is always a fun
Joe Burrow.
Get Joe Burrow. You know, well, Mariota has a great matchup versus Miami. Okay. But I also love Tua this week versus Washington, who is a sieve on defense. And Jordan Love versus the Giants. The Giants defense started strong up front. They've got some good guys, but it's not working yet. Okay, there's a lot of points.
This is one of those. This is the week, which you know what happens when the team loses that coach? They have that one spark of life week where they come to life and have that amazing game.
It hits all phases.
Yep.
Including defense.
We'll discuss that later on this week.
Flacco versus Pitt is another one. You know, we're singing his praises. those guys, Flacco was dropped by a lot of people because they were on bye.
Yep.
So like these guys are out there. I think they've got good matchups.
There you go.
And
listen,
but
I'll give
Burrow,
it to
of course.
Washington when it comes to Mariota. They've schemed it up very smartly to get that ball out of his hands so fast. Detroit didn't get one sack. Sure, they doubled them in points, but they didn't get one sack on Mariota because he was boom, gone. So the scheming they've done with him was very, very good.
Is incredible. So for him to be completely shut out.
0 sacks.
Yeah, it's running backs. I'm sure you got Woody Marks on your list.
Top of the list. Woody Marks seems to have taken over that backfield, and rightfully so. Sean Tucker in the replacement role has carved out a good chunk from Rachaad White. Rachaad still outscored him because of the receiving, but Tucker was getting more of the runs.
This is what I told you before the game started.
Absolutely, you did, and I took him out and put in Treyveon Henderson. And
did you?
Saved
great! Oh my God, that's awesome. Did you win?
I mean, I still lost because I was up against
damn
Taylor.
it! Sorry. Well, hey, we tried.
Yep.
What about Emmanuel Wilson and Blake Corum or Chris Rodriguez? You got any of those guys on your list?
I don't like any of those.
These are all guys that I think that you could. It depends on your situation. Look, running backs are hard to find. Period. The end. But these are guys that have opportunity that could come. Kyren Williams. I don't know if he's ever had like a full season healthy. We're at week 11. He's been used up a lot, and Corum was getting worked in a lot. Maybe that'll keep him healthy, and that's why he's still.
That's the point, exactly.
Maybe that's why he's still here.
To
correct.
Keep Kyren healthy.
Just like why Emmanuel Wilson is being worked in with Josh Jacobs. To keep them healthy, or Charbonnet with
any
Walker.
Real fantasy relevance.
Well, I'm just saying, there's not a lot out there. These are guys that you might be able to stash. Chris Rodriguez had a touchdown. They're still trying to figure out who it is.
Does seem to be the guy they're leaning on a little bit more, but
they're trying to figure it out.
It's still a three-headed monster. They're still
it is, but there's a chance for one of those three heads.
They're still throwing in McNichols.
But there's still a chance.
I am avoiding that backfield.
I hear you.
Entirely.
Look, the reason I bring up Chris Rodriguez is because there is still a chance that one of those three heads will emerge. They're trying it all. He got a pretty good boost with that touchdown at the end of that game. Maybe they'll start leaning a little more. And I've always said that he passed the eye test for me.
Well, all three of them passed the eye test.
I always liked
explosive
Rodriguez the most.
Yeah,
you're a McNichols guy who's been probably more productive.
Crosky Merritt, and then he's done nothing.
Yeah, well, we all loved him. Sure, we all loved Crosky. Bill. He shined bright.
Bill Crosky couldn't get one good game, and then
that was it. He got us.
Now for wide receivers,
yep.
Shockingly, Jerry Jeudy.
Yep, I've got him there too.
He's back, and I of course have dropped him, but he's back. 17 points, 12 targets, but only 6 receptions. So that tells you how volume dependent he is. And one of those was
bad the quarterback. Yeah. And those targets, there's a lot, but those are bad targets.
Yeah, because Dylan sucks.
But it's hard out there for a pimp. We're in week 11. There's buys and there's injuries and there's other stuff. And, Jerry Jeudy is still a number one guy getting these incredible targets. Fine. Are you happy?
I had to drop him. The rest of the season was so very, very bad. But he seems now, he's become and
his matchup,
throwing him the ball.
His matchup this week is versus Baltimore, which is, still a bit of a mystery of whether that's good or bad. I've got all the wide receivers, for Green Bay. They're gonna be facing the Giants next week, so you can go grab Jaden Reed. I don't know if he's going to play or not, but you can stick him on your IR.
Seems to be seeing the most time.
Who?
Dontavian Wicks.
Yeah, he looked all right today. He had an incredible catch today. He's weird.
They're not targeting him a lot, but
he's coming back from injury,
more than the other guys.
and he's also more familiar with Love. They've got it. They've worked together more. He's been there longer. But yeah, Wicks, uh, Matthew Golden, Christian Watson, if he's still out there. Some people, I mean, he's still out there, and gosh, probably at least 50%
I picked
of the
him
league.
in a bunch of leagues. Listen, he was getting all the looks at the end of the game today because Dobbs went out.
But
a couple guys that are names
yeah.
that are still out there on some of these wires: Cooper Kupp, Alec Pierce, Tez Johnson. Believe it or not, these three guys are still on a lot of wires, and they are productive. Cooper Kupp,
Take your first
no
pick. You
volume.
get any one of those. Take which one? Who do you take?
Tez Johnson.
Same. Totally.
Tez Johnson,
yes.
Alec Pierce,
yep.
Cooper Kupp.
And it's close. Between those two. Not even close.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
And then there's this random mystery meat that has emerged in New England by the name of Kyle Williams.
Yes. Wow. Right?
Yes.
Fast.
2 targets, 72 yards, a receiving touchdown.
Yeah.
1 reception for a 72-yarder. Is this something that opens the door for him to get more attempts? Listen, the wide receiving core is wide open. Nobody's taking a stranglehold on it. Stephon Diggs has the name, but he doesn't have a stranglehold on the targets. Booty can't stay on the field.
I think Kyle Williams is more right now a DFS play or a dynasty play.
I think right now he's definitely a dynasty stash.
Definitely. Yeah.
Listen, if you need help, you never know. This guy could
He's probably not available in dynasty.
Kyle Williams? I don't know.
Yes.
He may have been dropped early, or he probably was drafted if he was a
name. He may be he's probably on a taxi squad.
On a taxi squad somewhere. I have no idea.
That's my guess. But I don't
look in my one major dynasty.
Yeah, I'm curious. I bet you he is. But you know what? While you're doing that, there are a lot of tight ends out there. And we talked about Dalton Kincaid and Aronde Gadsden, both banged up, right? So let's look at those two situations.
He is not available in the Dynasty League.
I told you. I figured. He's probably on a taxi squad.
Yeah.
Will Dissly for Gadsden, right? He's out there. I don't know if he can step right in. It's like Luke Musgrave. We saw him tonight. What did you think of his performance?
Pedestrian, not Tucker Kraft. Not worth a start. I think you can't depend on him. He's not anywhere near.
His best work was as a blocker. He was very good. He was great blocking. But he'll never even sniff Tucker Kraft territory.
No Tucker. You, sir, are no Tucker Kraft.
No Tucker Kraft.
I knew Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft was a friend of mine. You, sir, are no Tucker Kraft. What about Dalton Schultz? That guy is
I like him a lot, especially this week.
In and off the
Tennessee.
wire, all that. Exactly. He had a good game this past week. Versus, it seems to me he's more productive. It's one of those situations where they're more productive with the backup, like with the Jacoby Brissett situation. We seem to be seeing that with Davis Mills. Dalton Schultz, all of a sudden, relevant, 15 points. Knox, you got to grab Knox because Kincaid might be out for a while.
Right.
Njoku, again, now that he wasn't traded.
I really like Njoku.
I talked about him. I was like, listen, Njoku is relieved. He didn't get traded. He's in that safety blanket.
And Fannin was injured or not 100% healthy.
Yeah, and he gave you 9 points.
He looked good. And Njoku's
great.
Strong.
And listen, Ertz is still being productive, especially with Brissett. I think Ertz is still an option down there. Or no.
Yeah, of course. Sure. He's always an option.
With Mariota. With Mariota.
Yeah, that's the question is I need to look at those numbers. I haven't looked at those as much. I know Jaden Daniels really relies a lot on Ertz.
Yeah, well, but he got 7.5 points out of it, so he got a little juice out of it.
Can we finally just let Isaiah Likely be here? Can we say it? Can we do it? Can we let it? No, you're not ready for him. Come on, man.
Not when he's still got Mark Andrews on the other side.
Andrews.
It's just enough to ruin it. It's just enough to ruin it for both of them. What about Higbee?
I don't know.
Higbee is still out there. He had that one huge game, but he dug up 5 points. If you need
look, the way Matthew Stafford is playing, I want any piece of the offense.
That's a good point right there. That's a very good point.
So give me Higby. I'll
There you
take him.
go.
Maybe he may not work, but a good dart throw. But those you mentioned all the ones. Do we feel like what about this? Listen, think about this week in particular. Friarmuth versus Cincy. How do you feel about that one? I don't know. Yeah, same. Non-plus. I don't
First of
know.
all, it's a division game, so it's going to be very hard fought. Even though Cincy is supposed to not be a great team, this is one of those matchups, just like with Cleveland, when it's Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, Pittsburgh and Cleveland, Cleveland and Cincinnati. These guys go
Yep,
to
yep.
war. Same with
Or
the
like we talked
Ravens.
about Jacksonville and Houston this week,
Right.
Miami and Buffalo this week. These are divisional games are insane. You
Insane.
just can't ever figure them
Insane.
out.
And that's what you're going to be. It could be a hero day for Friarmuth. It could be a bagel day for Friarmuth. That one's very tough to read.
Yeah, I was just trying
Now,
to look at the
I was
matchups and
trying to
yeah,
grab the KC defense today
love it.
because,
Versus Denver after what
yeah,
Bo Nix
yeah,
did.
Bo Nix is
Yeah,
looking pretty trashy.
I bet you he's up here in his head about it too. Everyone's talking about it,
And Kansas City coming off a bye. They're
and I
unstoppable
think
off a
that
bye.
isn't
I
Andy Reid's record off a bye like
Is it
a
1,000
ridiculous? It's like
and
it's
no
some
losses? Yeah,
ridiculous,
it's ridiculous.
awesome.
When he has an
Yeah.
extra week to scheme for you, you're a dead man. And I tried
Yes.
to grab him, but I would have had to drop just somebody too valuable to do it. I had
Would
to.
you drop Kenneth Walker for him?
No,
No. See, I keep
no.
trying to drop Kenneth Walker. You won't let me do it. I'm trying to find a scenario that you'll let me. I hate having him on my roster.
I get
I
it,
just,
dude. I get
I
it, but
don't like seeing his name there. It bothers me, and I want to find a reason. All
you
right.
can't drop a perfectly good RB1 to pick up a defense for however long.
Hey,
I'll tell you a sneaky defense you should grab this week.
Miami.
No.
Go.
Were you really? Do you really?
Yeah, Miami versus Washington. Yeah, take it.
I think we saw their magical week last week. I don't see another one of those coming from
You know
Miami.
what? Miami's not bad. They've got flashes. Anyway, go
They
on.
have talent, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're not bad.
No, I'm going to tell you right now, the defense, the sneaky defense you want to grab,
Dallas.
is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, let's go. Let's go, Cowboys.
And again, and I hate to say because of this emotional thing that they've been going through with the loss of Breland this last week. I feel, and then the addition of the new guys who are walking into this situation now, so to where I think it galvanized. If for no other week than and then they're playing the Raiders.
Gino.
They're playing the guy, the points maker for defenses. So the guy who loves to give up sacks, and now you got Quentin Williams coming right up your ass.
Well, I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that.
1 week this whole season to play the Dallas defense, it's this week.
100%. They are. I think that they are my number 2 overall. I think I would this as far as waiver wire, like what you can get. Atlanta versus Carolina. Probably my number 1. Bryce seems got a little yippy, and Rico, although he scored, he's not 100%. You can see he's injured. He's a little hobbled. He's not the 200-yard Rico. And Chuba's basically done. I don't understand. But it makes me nervous.
What's funny is 2 weeks ago, I had in my notes, and I didn't bother to say it. But is it just me, or is the New Orleans defense still pretty good? But the team got beat so bad that I was like, I can't bring this note.
So glad I didn't say it. Yeah.
Totally. I was like, it means nothing. Yeah. I'm not going to say that. I mean, yeah, the defense looked pretty good, but they're getting destroyed because they're out there the entire game. And now they show up, beat Carolina, an ascending team, and now they all of a sudden may have a little juice. But the defense I like is available on some wires. That's the only reason I have it here is the Chargers. Coming up.
How are they available? What percent are they rostered? It's got to be 90.
Let's take a look.
It's got to be 90s. They're so good. And they haven't come right
They
like
are
just come off.
61% roster.
Wow, that is crazy. All right, you better go get
And
Chargers, you
they are
guys.
available in our league of record.
Well, I'm out of that.
Okay.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like I checked out. I'm done.
Yeah,
From
you're
first to
pummeled over
worst.
there.
Yeah, I've sold out for next year. You know, I got rid of
And
Genti. Yeah.
finally, if you were on the waiver, you had your kicker. Cam Little is back in play. Pick up Cam Little. He's on a lot of waiver wires.
Oh, you're rehired?
I am rehiring Cam Little.
All right, I'll tell you what. Can I give us before we go? Can I give you
20% rostered,
Oh, Cam
available
Little?
in all of our leagues on Yahoo.
Who are they playing this week? The Jags.
The Jags are playing the Chargers.
You know what? Cam Little's actually a really good play because they'll get close,
They'll get
but
close
not
and
close
not get
enough.
in. Exactly.
Right, that's pretty good. That might
Cam Little's a good play.
I like that one. I'm gonna be
since the bye week. He seems to be back on track.
I think I'm gonna pick
his
him
way
up.
Before the bye, and now he seems to be very much back on track.
I like this. I got 2 leagues where I need a kicker, and I was gonna go for Reichert.
Right.
You know, the guy from Minnesota?
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He's been putting up good fantasy points, but I think Cam Little is good. I'm gonna try it. Anyway.
All right. Anyways, enjoy the waiver wires. This is our final. That's it. That's the end of week 10. We're the double digits. We're down the stretch. I hate that it goes so fast. This is fantasy football.
Oh, reality.